Hey everybody, welcome back. Live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well. We got ourselves a music show in our Newburyport studio. As always, excited about that. Out of the great city of Beverly, Massachusetts. We're joined today by Bob Kramer.
Purple slips, I said purple ships, let me take her for a ride. Mother goose on the loose, let me take her for a ride, alright. On the loose, you know that mother goose walking all alone. Doggies bark, you know, and Noah's Ark, a leaves from and bone. Walking down crowded street, staring as you go by. The tears are running down your cheek, hanging from your eye. Redhead, a country fair, Ferris wheels going round and round. Popcorn in a popcorn machine, let me take you for a ride last time.
Bob Kramer. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show, my friend. First timer, how you doing?
Thank you. So that is an original song.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is that it? Now, is that off one of these I'm holding in my hand here?
Yeah, it's on that one.
All right, here we go. So this is Bob Kramer, Help Me Sing My Song, if you want to go hear that. And 11 other tracks. There you go. 12-song disc here.
Fiddles and banjos and all kinds of stuff.
All right. You know, I opened, so you're from Beverly. I think I called it a city. I believe Beverly's a town, right? I don't even know. I lived there my whole life, next door in Danvers. Let's go to the phones.
Well, you know, the joke is they always say that Washington's fleet came from Beverly, and of course Marblehead says,
Yeah.
"Oh, I came from Marblehead." So.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Danvers, where the witches were. That's
right.
really where that was, even though Salem is the witch city. But yeah, interesting history in our neck of the woods there. But welcome to the Newburyport studios. I see you playing all around here. And actually, now what's the story? Because you also go by Colorado Bob.
I am from Colorado.
Yes. Okay.
And I just thought it'd be fun to call myself Colorado Bob.
It's a good name.
Yeah, you know. So I kind of go either way. It really depends.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be a musician, number one, dress fun.
Yeah, right.
And second, have a fun name.
There you go. So what's the history go? When did you find yourself here? How'd that whole timeline play out?
There's a whole lot in between.
Yeah.
No, when I was in grad school at Purdue, I had a job offer
Okay.
in Boston.
Yep.
I always thought I'd be back in Colorado, but so I ended up in Boston. I've been here ever since.
Wow.
I like New England.
Yeah. So you plan to go back, but you fell in love here.
Yeah, I've been back to Colorado. I wouldn't move back there.
Really?
Too many people.
Yeah.
It's overcrowded, and I'm still a Broncos fan. In fact, of course, the joke is, my daughter's a Patriots fan.
Sure.
I'm a Broncos fan. So when they play each other on TV, we yell at each other.
Did the Patriots become like your second team, or is it not really?
Oh, no. Not even anywhere near.
Quite the opposite. Okay, yeah. Very good. Well, yeah, there was some good rivalries there for a while. Both those two franchises had a lot of success, especially about a decade ago. So, yeah, beautiful. Colorado is beautiful, I hear. I've never been.
It is. I mean, it's a lot different since I was a kid.
Yeah. Do you feel that altitude? That's a real thing?
Oh, it is a real thing.
Yeah.
And if you're ever going to visit, you have to give yourself 2 or 3 days. It's no joke.
Really?
People make the mistake of flying in
Yep.
and then driving right up to the mountains, and then they get winded and they get dizzy, and the whole thing.
Really? So so just for those 2 to 3 days, you just adjust and not do anything too crazy, you mean?
Right, and of course, sports teams have the same issue.
Yeah.
So a lot of Colorado sports teams have the advantage because they don't get winded, in like towards the end of games.
Gotcha. Yeah. So even though you grew up there, you still need 2 days just to get yourself accustomed.
I am no longer.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's funny. I've always wanted to do that trip just to feel it for myself. But
one of the most remarkable things, if you drive, and you hit the last town in Nebraska, Ogallala.
Okay.
It's all plains. So here you're driving in Colorado in the plains. You go, where are the mountains? And all of a sudden, there they are in the distance. It's a beautiful sight.
So it's fun. I have a couple of musician friends who've come on the show a lot, and they did I think it was 2 years ago, they did a cross-country drive the music van out there and play a bunch of shows in the Denver area. They drove back, and the van broke down in Nebraska.
Ooh.
And they're like, man, and you break down in Nebraska, like it is, we were in, just like when you picture it, we were in the middle of nothing. Like we had to call, like, thank goodness help came quickly, hours and hours away. But then, we ended up they had to tow the thing away to some place I didn't know. We ended up getting an Uber to the airport and making whole different plans. Like, they were like disaster, And as I remember interviewing him, he said, my van remains in Nebraska at this moment. So he's got a bad vibe on Nebraska. But good musician story, I thought. So what's your story? When did you pick that thing up for the first time?
My sister was a folk singer.
Okay.
So when I was like 10, she bought me a guitar.
Yeah.
And in 2 years, I was playing in her folk band at the age of like 12.
You joined your sister's band.
Well, it was a folk band. It wasn't heavy lifting.
Sure.
And then I had an acoustic band in high school, and I'm the kid that just never gave it up.
Yeah.
Also, too, because she was a folk singer, I was listening to all those records, country blues and jazz, and so I kind of missed the whole rock and roll thing for a long time.
Yeah.
So I still listen to that stuff. I love the stuff on the 20s and 30s and 40s, and because they invented it.
Yeah.
All that finger picking stuff.
Yeah.
Love it.
Who are your favorites?
Well, there's Doc Watson, and
Yeah.
there's of course, now I'm blank. Chris Smithers, Cambridge boy.
Sure, you've been on this show, yeah.
Oh, he's fabulous.
Yeah, he's great.
I've never
Really
seen,
sweet guy, too.
Yeah, I've never seen him live.
Yeah.
Of course, he wrote "Love Me Like a Man" that Bonnie Raitt
Right.
made famous.
Yeah.
John Hyatt.
Yeah.
Lyle Lovett.
Yeah. It's easy to say like Pete Seeger. Were you like a Pete Seeger guy?
I only briefly, because
Yeah.
I love the sound of the banjo.
Yes. Yeah.
I play a little banjo. I wish I had gotten a little better on the banjo.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll pull it out and laugh at myself. But only for a short time. But I did love the banjo. So all those folk bands that had banjos, I really enjoy listening to them.
Yeah. Remember he did the, it was probably one of his, I mean, he lived for many years after this, so not one of his last draws. I think he was pretty much playing until the day he died. But remember he did the Obama inaugural there? And it was the big concert they had with Beyonce and Springsteen and all those big artists. And with Springsteen, I guess Bruce had asked him to come out and do This Land Is Your Land. And and the story goes, I guess he told Bruce, Bruce, I will do it with you. Let's go do it. It'll be fun. One rule. And Bruce goes, what's that, Pete? We sing all the verses. And I thought that was a great Pete Seeger story. I always liked that.
I always thought that should be a part of the national anthem.
Me too. It's a better song than the anthem, right?
Well, it's
no disrespect, but
but it's about America.
Yeah.
You know,
it is the most patriotic song.
Right. The other songs about celebrating other things.
Yeah.
But there's something about This Land Is Your Land that's just so authentic.
And I completely agree. I've made that push before too. I would love to hear that before like sporting events. You know.
Actually, if you want a treat, I'm a big Little Feat fan.
Yeah.
If you've never heard their version of This Land Is Your Land, it's terrific.
Little Feat,
they kind of rethought it.
Nice.
And it's more of a driving song, but it's still the same song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do an excellent version of This Land Is Your Land.
That's too cool. So how I just for social. I mean, we tried to make this happen for a while. By the way, this is
thank you for.
Well, thank you. I mean, for staying on it too, because it's sometimes schedules.
I don't know any better.
Schedules don't line up all the time, so I appreciate you keeping in contact here and making this happen. We went back quite a ways, I think, because I was watching you play live a lot, and I kept seeing you pop up, and I'd have you. This is a slot for this show, and then I got a gig that night. I'm sorry. So you're still playing out there a lot, huh? You love getting out there?
Well, I've been doing open mics for years. I used to do one at the Grog. But
I missed that, man. That place was so cool.
Love the Grog.
I mean, it's still there, but just the music aspect.
So I do the open mic in Beverly at the Indo Pub, and then we just started doing one at the brewery.
I've been to that open mic.
At the Indo?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are now, it is so, if I could just talk about
this. Go for it, sure.
It is so, we get 17 performers showing up.
Wow.
And what's happening is when the open mic ends, we shut off the sound system, and people gather in a circle in the middle of the Indo Pub and play acoustically till closing.
No kidding.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
We get fiddle players and banjo. A lot of it is kind of bluegrass-ish.
Yeah.
But we go in a circle, because I play mandolin too, so go in a circle and someone calls out a song, and it goes to 1 a.m. It's that's why I'm a little tired today.
Yeah.
But it is so joyful. The bartender who works there loves it.
Yeah.
It's just unique.
What's her name? I know her.
Christine.
Christine, yeah, okay. She's very nice.
She's great.
Yeah.
Fab.
It's one of my favorite bars. I love that. It's just that old-timey feel, yeah.
It's intimate.
Yeah.
So I kind of share it with a couple other people because I don't want to do an open mic every week.
Yeah. Pass it off a little bit.
And the brewery, we just do it once a month for now.
Okay. Gotcha.
And they've been great.
Yeah.
The brewery is just a different vibe.
Yeah.
We're trying to, let's see where it goes.
All right, there. Well, that's how you build these things, right? You got to experiment and see how it happens. Yeah. I was actually, I was at the end. I don't even know if I would have seen you. I would assume I would have seen you and recognized you, but there's a chance no. I remember just kind of sitting at the bar taking that open mic in one night, kind of from the side there. At the Indo. Yeah. And, I mean, you could have been there. I don't think so. I think I would have recognized you just by social media. But
I don't always pop in if I'm not hosting.
Gotcha. Yes, but it was. I mean, same deal. Just like you said, 1 o'clock. I mean, at one point somebody asked me if I played, and I'm sitting at the bar, and I go, "Yeah, I can play a little." And next thing I know, I got a guitar in my hand. I think I was playing a Dave Matthews song or something.
It's great.
It was fun.
People. The audience will join in, and
sure.
It's so unique.
And that's every Monday.
It's every Monday. I mean, I'd love for someone to do a story on that. It's so unique.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for WBZ too.
Yeah,
we're going to have all the stations covered.
Yeah, as an open mic.
Yeah,
because the open mics are the backbone.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be great. And for a lot of people, it's the first time maybe getting in front of an audience.
Yep. Those are so cool too, because somebody like me, I'm a poor man's player. I'm not, I haven't been playing in front of crowds like you have for all these years, but I started to feel comfortable playing a few years back. I'm 37, so I started late. And, some of my buddies are like, you sound good and you can sing. Like, do it. Just do it. Like, and so I started doing it a little bit. And those open mics, you're right, they're so valuable. I've seen people go on and eventually start music careers from those and like really point back to those things.
Right. Well, they really take on the character of the host.
Yeah.
And some hosts are terrible.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
I hear you. Yeah,
get
yeah.
up, do you? But I'll sit in with people. I'll ask, "Gee, you want some mandolin?"
Sure.
There's a fiddle player that shows up every week. And,
Yeah.
Hey, you want a little fiddle? There's a bass player. So all of a sudden, even though you may not be a terrific player, you're going to have all this backup.
Yeah.
And, it's a very cool thing.
It is.
Yeah.
No doubt. That's a great thing. 8 o'clock on Mondays, right?
8 to 11.
8 to 11.
Correct.
Well, 11. I've seen that go beyond 11.
And the brewery is 6 to 9, the second Wednesday of the month.
Newburyport Brewery on Wednesday. Okay, cool.
And they've been real nice to me, as well.
Yeah, they're great people over there.
Absolutely.
Chris always been good to us here too as well. Are you hosting next week's?
No, the fiddle player.
Okay.
Who, he's just a guy that he lives in Beverly. Started coming to the, and now we played out together. He said, "Do you want to host?" He's a great host, so
Yeah.
It's all good.
I'll make sure I get to one where you host though. I want to be there when you're hosting this.
In fact, I met Cynthia
Keefe,
who I sing with.
Yep.
She came in the grog when I was a host.
Oh, okay.
And she sang a couple songs, and I walked up and said, "Want to be in a band?"
That's how it works half the time,
That's
right?
how it happened.
Speaking of that, music theme, want to play us another one? What do you got here? You want to intro
Sure.
it, or you want to intro it, or just play it? Your call. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, just this just it's so hard to decide what to do. This is an old kind of blues thing. I'll do a little bit of it.
All right, Bob Kramer live at Drew's house, Joppa, afternoon drive.
If you ever change your mind about leaving, baby, leaving me behind, honey, please bring that home to me, yeah. Little
Bob
taste.
Kramer, yeah, a little
Little
bluesy action. Very nice. Good. So, who taught you how to play because usually, I have a lot of cousins that teach me how to play, and there's like a very distinct one for me that's like a little blues action, So you remember like who kind of taught you to go down that road?
I made it my mission
Yeah.
to play something that no one else did.
Oh, okay.
So when 15 guitar players show up, I can play slide.
There you go.
I can bring out the mandolin.
Yeah.
Pull out the steel
I saw
guitar.
that in the room. Yeah, the steel guitar.
Right. So, I just wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
Rather than, doing the same stuff.
Yeah. That's such a good mindset to have too.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite guitar players are not necessarily the greatest technical guitar players in the world, but but nobody plays like them,
Right. Yeah. And also too, I've been listening to that stuff forever.
Yeah.
Big slide
Yeah.
fan of so many people.
Yeah.
John Hammond comes to mind.
Yeah.
God, so many great slide people.
No doubt. What's the room that you've most enjoyed playing over the years? Is there like one around here that you just genuinely just love?
I somehow got us into the Terror Blues Club on Bleecker Street.
Oh, wow.
In New York City.
No kidding.
And they always have an acoustic warm-up for the national act.
Yeah.
Somehow I talked us into it. So I brought the trio down to the Terror Blues Club. place is packed because they're not there to see us, but they're there to see the national act, and they want you to be acoustic, so you break down quickly.
Right.
It was wonderful.
Really?
God, it was just wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Playing on Bleecker Street in New York City, the whole thing. Yeah, that was. We did it 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
It's a long drive.
True.
Yeah, that was really nice.
You wouldn't just come back, would you?
We did.
You would go down to New York City, play, and come back?
Yeah, we didn't have a place to stay once. So, you drive 5 hours to play a terror blues and then get in the car. And,
Oh, my goodness. Switch off driving, I hope.
yeah.
Oh.
Drive back, yeah.
Rock star stories right there, man.
And we've been, I've been playing opening day at Topsail Fair for years.
Oh, okay.
They give us the prime spot, 4:30 in the afternoon, opening day. And that's another really sweet thing, especially if the weather is nice.
Yeah. Great time of year.
Yeah.
I had always, I guess, I went probably a decade plus without going to the Topsfield Fair just because I remember doing it as a young kid and then kind of as I grew up, didn't quite do it as much. And then when I went back, I was like, there's a lot of great music here. Like, and it's, I didn't quite remember that from,
They're one of the great supporters of music because they have, there's the main stage, which we play at, and then there's 2 other stages.
Right.
One in the picnic area, and there's music every day.
Yeah.
So, it really gives a lot of people, and they pay, so it gives a lot of people an opportunity to perform. The other one, if I can just mention another, is Cider Hill Farms.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They're another one that has music every single day. And, in my opinion, I think they're really supporting, all these folks who, don't necessarily have outlets to play.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that, except when it rains, that's also, and of course, you get your free cider donuts.
True.
But that's an onion. So there are a few places like that,
one thing I've noticed, especially since we started this show like 6 years ago, I knew there was a lot of talent in this area. It's times 100 what I thought it was. I have people that come in here, and I'm just like, now how are you not out there doing this full time? Like, my God, their songs are great. Like, it's amazing. I'm caught off guard half the time.
We had a guy come in, a heavyset guy, and he said at the open mic, he says, "I don't need a microphone." I said,
What?
"Oh, okay."
Yeah.
He sang 3 arias.
Wow.
And then left. I didn't even get his name.
Oh my goodness.
It was a moment that I'll never forget. Belted out these 3 arias.
Beautiful.
In a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And left.
Oh my God. What a guy.
So you never know who's going to show up. But there's a lot of folks.
It wasn't Martin Sexton, was it? Martin Sexton?
Yeah, I know.
He's one of my favorites.
This was a legit opera guy.
Opera guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But Sexton's way, he just played Newburyport, and that's one thing that struck me about him was he likes to walk away from the mic and really have those. I always appreciate people who can use the mic effectively like that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really understand how to use it.
Yeah,
getting in and out, and I always have to tell people, the mics only go one direction. You have to get closer.
Yep.
They think if they stand over here, but that's just all learning.
Sure.
It's the thing that's
yeah. Even speaking, people struggle with that. You hear,
right?
Again, Bob Kramer joining us here. If you want to pick up some of his music, he's got albums. This is 12 tracks here. Help Me Sing My Song, Bob Kramer. Who took that photo?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? What year is this? You don't remember?
A few years ago.
Produced by E.J. Ouellette, a friend of the show.
I've known E.J. a long time.
Yeah.
I have recorded E.J. So E.J.'s fiddle is actually on that CD.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Nice. E.J.'s.
Yeah.
Is he one of the? For me, I think he's one of the more talented musicians I know. I think he can play everything.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
The only downside is that he doesn't play with anybody.
True.
He only plays with people he wants to.
Yeah.
So although over the years I have asked him to sit in, he won't do it.
Yeah.
But it was interesting working with him. I wanted to do an original song of mine.
Yeah.
And he said, this kind of goes back to jazz ideas. He says, we're not going to show the band your song. We're going to do it, just play it just all together.
Oh.
And he was absolutely correct.
Wow.
So the recording, I think we did it twice.
Yep.
Two takes, is spontaneous.
Wow.
And that's the kind of stuff you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of jazz recordings were, done in the studio were very spontaneous.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I like that idea. So we did, yeah. It was just
Yeah.
show them the chords, and that was it.
No doubt. Every time somebody tells me a story like that, I think of, I remember a Neil Young interview, and he's talking about like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and I think it was Howard Stern had asked him about like that guitar riff at the beginning. You guys play that so beautifully together. One of their big songs. I don't know if it was Ohio or what. I can't remember. But he said, yeah, it does. Yeah, it came out good. He goes, you should have heard it the first time though. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, that's about the 11th or 12th take we took on that thing. And I'm telling you, when we banged that thing out the first time, we have never matched how good it was. It was something raw about it. And it was recorded and we ditched it. And I was like, no, that's the one. And we decided no, we can do better. The first one was the one, And I always remember that. So I think that's a great Neil Young story. But
Yeah, recording's a whole different animal.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I do like it.
Yeah.
It depends who you're dealing with.
Sure.
Depends on the musicians. If you have people that are loose,
Yep.
you can really come away with something nice. On the other hand, if you pull in people who are kind of tight,
Yeah.
they want to, all right, I've got to do it like this, but it's just a whole different thing.
If you had to rank them 1, 2, and 3, 1 being the best, playing live, songwriting, or recording, what's that order of operations?
Oh, just playing live.
Playing live is 1.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy being in the studio more than writing, or you like just being by yourself?
I'm not a prolific songwriter.
No, okay. It's a bit of a grind for you.
No, I've written a few songs. I'm more interested in being a better player.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Than writing a song.
Okay.
Everybody's different.
Sure.
So I would rather work on a song that's difficult to play.
Yeah.
A song like "Here Comes the Sun."
Yeah.
Learning that song to me is more important than writing a song.
I get the impression you're somebody that would love to hear, whether it be a campfire or the open mic or something. You must love somebody kind of working their own song, and if you have the freedom to kind of jump in, you must kind of love maybe try to be a part of that in your own way.
Yeah.
Let's maybe work that slide in there or something.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's funny. Bob Kramer joining us. What are you doing next year? I see that little steel guitar there next to you. What's is that thing coming out?
Do you want to hear it?
I want to hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
By request.
It's heavy. It's the only thing with steel guitar.
Oh man! All right. Again, Bob Kramer joining us. Colorado Bob. Some of you might know him by here in the Newburyport, North Shore area. He's a Beverly boy these days, but originally from Colorado. This is the other album. We got Rootsy Rockin' in Blue. This is the Bob Kramer Band.
That's fairly new.
Fairly new. What is the Bob Kramer Band at its core? You mentioned a trio earlier. Is the Bob Kramer Band a trio?
It's Cynthia.
Yep.
And Al and me.
Who's Al?
Al Foucault.
Okay.
And Al lives in Haverhill.
Okay.
So the three of us have been together for a decade.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What are you thinking with this? That's a beautiful guitar, man.
It's magic. This is a song about a freight train. Big black locomotive. Hear that train.
Nicely done, Bob Kramer.
Thank you.
Hey.
Now, a lot of Colorado in that
A
song.
lot of Colorado?
Yeah.
Did you write that in Colorado?
This song took a long time to write.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like different parts.
Yep.
Yeah, it took a long time.
They
to
happen
write.
that way sometimes, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of Colorado in that song. I'm thinking about this. Is actually, it's surprisingly, I feel like I've had you on here before because we've been in communication so long before having you on. But first time we have people on the show, they have to do rapid fire here. First thing that comes to mind. You ready?
Sure.
All right, this will start easy. Favorite food?
Favorite food. Favorite food.
That's the tough one, huh?
Chicken pot pie.
All right, favorite TV show?
Wow. Well, right now it's Fargo.
Fargo. Okay, very good. Favorite room in the world to play? Is it the Bleecker Street or?
Oh, Bleecker
Yeah,
Street,
yeah.
Terra Blues.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Best concert you ever been to?
It would have to be Dead.
The Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many are you one of those guys that's been to a bunch of them?
I've been to a bunch of them. You know, I know you want to do rapid fire, so
It's okay. No, it happens this way sometimes.
I lived in Chicago for a while.
Yeah.
And we lived on a farm. You know, typical. You know, we
Yeah,
all
yeah.
lived on a farm together.
Right.
And we had this guy who was a big deadhead, and he said, "I'm going to turn you on to a group that's going to change your life." He says, "It's called the Grateful Dead."
Yeah.
And he was right.
What do you think it is about because a lot of people, even music, like pretty good music fans I know, they don't quite get it, you know?
They don't.
Yeah.
You don't understand that Jerry Garcia, again, he listens to a lot of stuff. You know, he was a banjo teacher.
Right.
But he's very much influenced by the way the jazz guys would put things together. There's a lot of spontaneity
Yeah.
in the Dead. Now, a lot of people don't like the extended jams and stuff, which I understand.
Yeah.
But when they're hot, when they're, really improvising,
Yeah.
that's what they're great at.
I once heard him say, sometimes the best shows, the audience sometimes likes to watch us struggle and try to find that groove, and maybe we're not getting it, but sometimes that's comes off well for the audience, and sometimes it's more rewarding for them to see us working for that. Whereas sometimes we'll be perfect up there, not necessarily perfect, but for us it'll just be hot or whatever that term is. And for us, I can feel it up there. Like that's magic for us. And it doesn't always translate out there, which is why it translates to a fun show. But just sometimes the what you hear are the best show, that's the best Dead show ever. I remember Jerry saying, not necessarily for me, maybe. It's like it's amazing that experience how
He also, he was not a great singer.
Yeah.
But there was so much sincerity.
yeah, there was a realness to it, right?
Yeah. He was also a big fan of American music.
Yeah.
The old guys, the guys that invented it. Because he played banjo and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
He knew a lot of those songs, and the Dead did a lot of music, a lot of Americana.
Yeah.
That people don't appreciate.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What do you think about I went to the Dead and Company at Fenway Park show this summer. Was it this summer or last summer? It was this summer, yeah. And the general theme from a lot of the diehard Deadheads who had seen hundreds of shows was that John Mayer did a very admirable job filling Jerry's shoes as far as embracing the music. And your thoughts?
I have never been to one of those shows.
Okay.
He's a terrific player. I wouldn't.
Sure.
Bob Weir as a singer has never been one of my favorites.
Yep.
That's neither here nor there. I really prefer more intimate shows like we in Beverly we have the Cabot.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
So Mavis Staples there. Boy,
Oh, man. What a treat that is,
Small
huh?
venue.
Yeah.
That to me is more interesting to me than going to see.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's good. And the last one I like to ask for rapid fire: what is the best career advice you ever received? We got a lot of kids watching too. A lot of high schoolers like this show.
Don't be afraid to fail,
Ah, nice.
because that's what it's all about.
I like that.
We all fail. And it's okay. Because you'll learn from it.
No doubt.
It's all right.
Bob Kramer, man, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for making it happen. Finally,
Same.
I had so much fun. You want to play something? Play something for me to take us out of here, will you?
Okay.
I don't care what it is.
Sure.
Your favorite riff or whatever. I don't care. Again, Bob Kramer. You can go pick up some of his music. Help Me Sing My Song is this one, Rootsy Rockin' in Blue. This is with the Bob Kramer Band, and we talked a lot about the open mics in Beverly and Newburyport. Go check those babies out as well. Live at Drew's house. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. May Power, thank you. Sarah Hayden, thank you. Bob Kramer.